Have you ever been lost? That's the first question. That's how I'm going to open this video up. I want you to quieten your mind, and this is to the 8 billion people on the planet. Have you ever been lost? So let's frame it properly. Where did the video come from? We've got 13 people who support us externally and internally within our marketing division. And this week, through all the conversations we've had, people have been asking me, and the majority won, can you do a video, Stevie, based upon the reasoning behind each book? And I thought it was a fantastic idea because I've never really spoken about it. And it came up with the first book I'm going to talk about, and we came up with a question where I said I was lost. And how do you describe being lost? It will mean different things for different people, but generally what we're talking about here is there's no sense of direction. There's a kind of sense of lost identity as well. I can't see the road ahead, there's fog. I'm still me, but inside I'm lost. I'm not that I'm not connected to myself. I just don't know where I'm going. Even though we only have the now, that's what saved me. Spending a lot of time in the now, but realising when I came out of being present, I was lost. So what did I do? One of the pinnacle moments is I believe you meet people for a reason, and I met Doug White 10 years ago in Great Wall China Marathon, and we were like brothers. We speak every week, we have done since I met him 10 years ago. But back then, he supported me to try and clear a path of doing all these endurance events, because what I discovered in China was I need to take myself to a place where I can completely eliminate this and discover with every fibre of my being where I'm going. And my strategy for you is, I seen Doug as a friend and I seen Doug as a coach. He was relentless in his coaching, even with strategies of the endurance world, in every aspect. But it's when I was on the event that I would do what I did with my mind for me to break through. And it is a breakthrough. And I wrote this book. And I wrote it because I shared the strategy. It wasn't just me not being lost anymore. I wanted to put it into a book so that somebody could pick this book up, read it, and they will take something from it. Because when I wrote the book, I was in a very vulnerable place because I was lost. So what was the extreme measures I did? I know to self-discover yourself, it's about complete silence, it's about the brainwave resonance, and it's also about how vulnerable and what positions you're going to put yourself into. I was in the hostel. Doug had supported me. I was doing the event with the same event organisers that he used. And the concept of this book was, I'm now in the hostel and my name's getting shouted out. And as my name's getting shouted out, I was sitting with these group of people. Now, why is this canvas relevant? Because this is the middle stage. Because after that, they left me and I was left on my own. Because at that point in the hostel, I was told that I was going up Kilimanjaro with Fred, just me and him. And I had written that I was going to walk on my own, because I wanted to be in my own company. And when I got to camps, I wanted to be in a hut. It was raining, it was snowing, it was in isolation, and I wanted to spend as much time as I could on my own. But while I was in the hostel, and I accepted that, I couldn't remember writing that down or ticking a box saying I want to go up on my own with a guide and a cook. But I accepted it. But then I said to Fred, I want to be on my own when I'm in the camp. I don't want to be around people. I want to go into complete isolation as if I'm the only person in the world. I need to break through something. There's something going on within me and I'm aware of it, which is a positive sign, but I need to get a breakthrough. And just as I'm sitting there, Marie Francis shouts out, Stevie, kid. And I went, yep. She says, remember you've got 24 hours rest when you come off, but then you've got the marathon to run. Marathon? What are you talking about? You ticked a box that you're going to run the marathon as well. And I did. And that young man is somebody that jumped out a tree or a bushes and came up and started running beside me and asked me in the first 400 metres of the race, what are you doing? And I told him. And he said he would run the race with me just to keep me company. I don't know if I would have done it if he wasn't there, but the point is where I went to in that brain resonance. If you think about endurance and you think about where you take your place within your mind, body, spirit and soul, you find answers. And at mile 23, I broke down in tears. He sat beside me and he says, come on, you can do this. I says, no, That's not why I'm crying. You see, I've just met that person because I went back in time and went and sat beside that person. And the strength of character that I found not to be lost. The only way I can describe the last few miles of that race, there was tears coming down my eyes. There was people cheering when I got to the finishing line. But I could see what I was to do. And the power lies in what I did in the Kilimanjaro event. The pathway now has its own Kilimanjaro event. But it's where I had to go to discover myself again, to see what it was I was to do. The place of uncomfort, the place of unknown, the place of isolation, and the place of doing something that is beyond your imagination. Because when I think about going up Kilimanjaro there now, which I do every year, and base camp, but when I think coming off of there and then a day later I've been doing a marathon, I must have put myself into an extreme state of resonance to achieve that. And when I come home, I decided I need to write about this. And that's what I've did. And just to give you an idea and a concept of some of the chapters, you will take something from that book and it will change your life. Kilimanjaro is a very special spiritual meaning to me, which is why I go back every year. Because when I look at Kilimanjaro, I look at a metaphor that saved my life. And hopefully the book will save many others who are in the same position as me, who don't have the strength of character to tell their story. At least if you read my story, it might change your story and give you a new direction in the direction that you have to take in your life. We all get lost. Face it and break through it. It's an obstacle. Thank you.